Hey y'all. Okay, so welcome back. The hair is a little rough, but I'm gonna try to make this video quick. So I too had an experience with Arbonne, the MLM, the Boss Babes, and It started in 2013 when we're gonna call her Madison. Madison was like, "Oh, I want to talk to you about a job opportunity." And I was like, nah. I was like, is that skincare stuff? She was like, well, it's not just skincare. So eventually I agreed and I went to a information session with her because she wasn't having one of those spa parties that everyone talks about. And I went, I fell asleep in the information session. And I remember looking at her and I was like, yeah, this ain't for me. And she was like, well, no, we should just still talk about it. And we're cool because we all went to theater school together. So I was like, okay, why not? I meet her and she pulls out like a piece of paper that has like lines on it, but it's like numbered from 1 to 100. And it's like you have to write down 100 people that you know that you could talk to about the business. I'm already like, yeah, nah, I'm good. And then she's like, don't you want a car? And I'm like, nah, I have one and it's paid off. So I don't need another car, especially in New York City. I don't need a car. And she was like, well, don't you want to go on trips? And I was like, well, I've lived out of the country for like 3 years and I traveled all over the place. So traveling is not an issue. Okay, but I'm here in New York for acting. But whatever. So she gives me the skincare kit for me to try. Hold it for a week and see what you like. I brought it home. I didn't use it. I met her in a week and a week later and I was like, yeah, this is not really for me. Maybe I'll holler at you like in a couple months, get my money together, all this type of stuff to get out of it. So she finally left me alone, right? Let's fast forward to 2016. Now, another chick that went to theater school with us, her name was Helen. And Helen approached her business a little differently or approached her like marketing scheme or whatever a little differently. Because Helen would post pictures of the baby blue Tiffany boxes online and be like, if you want to know more about how I'm getting these Tiffany boxes, let me know. Like she was doing a lot of that. And she was also, she had also like finished like traveling the world and stuff. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, Helen, what's that about? And she was like, oh, well, it's my business and it's doing really well. And, we go on these like retreats and I get, all the stuff from Tiffany's. So I was like, all right, well, what's your business? And she's like, Arbonne. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, oh, that's the same thing Madison was doing. And she was like, Madison and I run our businesses very differently. So I said, okay, all right, Madison and Helen running different businesses. So I was like, talk to me about it. So, Helen started telling me about her business and how she loves the skincare, but she loves the people. And she's under Camilla Ebbs, who is like the top seller in Toronto, Canada, right? So I'm like, okay. And she's like, so she took me, oh, so that's what it was. So she's like, it's just amazing. And everyone, it's just sisterhood and empowering. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, let's cut to the chase. How much is it going to cost? And she was like, oh, well, no, no, no. Just wait, just wait. I was like, no, seriously. How much is it going to cost? And she was like, well, why don't I, take you into why don't you sit in on one of these set information sessions, right? So she took her computer into some lady's house and I sat there and watched this session and like the women in there were just like, oh my God, this is just so amazing. And then the woman that was speaking was like, I was a stay-at-home mom and I wasn't bringing in any income and I found Arbonne, or maybe Arbonne found me. Bitch. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna try not to curse, but bitch is one of my favorite words. Okay, so anywho, so I'm like, okay, So again, you know, there is something in my spirit, even though I said bitch. There's something in my spirit that's like, yeah, I don't think you really should do this. But I'm like, spirit, I don't hear you. I'm gonna just keep doing me. So I continue with Helen, and she's just like, well, so again, I'm like, how much is it going to cost? So finally she's like, well, it's whatever the initial fee was to like get your ID number, because that's essentially what you're doing. You get an ID number, and then if someone goes into their onto your website, they can either put in your name or your I think it's put in your name, and it'll come up like www.arbonne.com slash whatever your name is, right? So she's like, it's I think I had to pay 150 or one something to become an independent contractor, a consultant. Ooh, we consultant. And she was like, you're jumping right in. You're both feet in, jumping right in. So she was using all these buzzwords. And she would also speak really fast. And in theater school, we had one teacher that always said, when someone who speaks really, really fast, most of the time they're hiding something. They're full of shame. So, and at times I'll be like, yo, just slow down, because it's me. We're friends. Like, we've hung out, we've done scenes together. We've shared like life experiences or whatever. Okay, it's cool. Like, I'm gonna try to help you with your business. You'll coach me and help me with mine, because I legitimately thought that I was like, yo, I can probably do this. Like, if all I have to do is sell something, I'm pretty good at, I'm pretty good at motivating people and getting things done. But I'm not very good at selling products. I know that. But I was like, I'm pretty good at motivating people, and I can probably be like, hey, this is gonna be a lifestyle, and and you can work from home and doing all this stuff. Because at the time I was also working I was working in a cake shop. That was crazy. And I was like, there's so much more in life than slinging cake, and I probably can do this. But so let me try. So I get through the training with Helen, and I have the emails, because I found one, because I was like, I hope I saved one of them at least. And she's like, oh, well, usually training takes a week. For us, it took a whole month. Because remember, she's in Canada. I'm in New York. Now, Helen also came from money. So she could fly back and forth to New York and Canada whenever she wanted. But we did most of our trainings like through Skype, because she was in Canada. So then, during training one day, she's like, you're going to have to go to the conference. And I said, well, since we're both in the same profession, like, you're an actor, I'm an actor, if I book a job during that time, I'm going to take that job, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to act. I'm not here to go to somebody's conference. And she was like, well, you will have to go. I said, again, if I book a job. And then she was like, well, yeah, okay. I said, because I'm looking at her like, you act as well. So would you pass up an opportunity to work, to go to a conference where everybody's wearing white and going, boss babes, woo? So, it was, so she was like, yeah, okay, well, and I was like, so I said, but if I'm not busy during that time, then I'll go. Now the person that brought her in, her name was Meg. And Meg, Meg apparently had gotten chosen to go on a trip to Mexico, wherever they sent them. And she was like, Meg is just, my upline is just so amazing and all this stuff. So I was like, great. Yeah, it was like 2017? No, 2016. Yeah. So the end of 2016. Finally, we finished everything. Then it's the moment of truth. They want me to place my first order. Before placing the first order, Meg and Helen were both like, because they were on a call one day, Meg happened to be at Helen's apartment, and they were like, okay, so, in order for your account to be active or to remain active, you have to buy I think it was either $100 or $150 worth of stuff every month to remain active. So I said, why? They were like, well, because if you don't, then say you have like 100 people under you. If you don't buy those products, then you'll lose all those people. And I'm like, $150. But then I was like, all right, again, being a team player, I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'll do it. That's fine. All right, so yeah, that was in like, I think the end of October, November, placed my first order, like the big order. So mind you, when you are in Arbonne or when you start, they want you to actually buy 3 of those skincare kits that are trash, but 3 of those, and those are like, I think those retail like three or $400 a pop. So I bought 2. And I remember Meg was in the background when Helen was like, okay, so you're gonna get this, this, and this. And I was like, no, I'm only gonna get 2. Well, we actually no, because at first I just wanted 1 because I mean, I didn't use the skincare products when the fake name that I used in the beginning of the video, Madison. Yeah, when she gave it to me, but I was like, all right. They were like, well, we prefer that you order 3. I was like, well, it's my money, so I'm gonna order 2. And they were like, okay. Then Helen was like, oh, well, get the shakes and all this type of stuff. Mind you, I don't like shakes. I don't like the shake powder. I don't like milk. So buying shakes is not going to help because I'm not going to try the product and then try to sell it to somebody else. So I didn't. And I was just like, I got 1 box and eventually my order came up to like, I don't know, $800 or something. And then with tax and shipping, because Arbonne don't ship this stuff for free. Okay. So, I got all this stuff and then, and I bought a bunch of samples and then I had to buy like the sample materials to the placards and the handouts to give to people and all this type of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna say maybe not 8, nah, because maybe it was $800 or $900 for this initial order. Now mind you, I ain't ordered nothing else big. So that was like October, November. Middle of November, Helen's like, Camilla's coming to New York. You know, do you want to meet her because it would be such a wonderful opportunity? So yeah, I go to Camilla's hotel room. Now, mind you, that was a goddamn clandestine undertaking because they just didn't like send out the information. Helen had to contact somebody above Meg, and then Meg had to contact somebody, and then I was sent Camilla's like location the day of, and then the time. They're like, don't be late. And then like I went to the hotel and then I had to text a number which was Camilla's, and then she sent me her room number. So I'm in this lady's hotel room and I'm asking her, I'm like, because I watched all these videos of her talking about how she was an actress and, she found herself at 44 years old, needing something to do because acting wasn't working out for her and she had a child and blah, blah, blah. And she discovered Arbonne and Arbonne changed her life. And now she's the top earner in Toronto. So I asked her, I was like, why did you get an Arbonne? And then I was like, because I want to know, like, what's not written on Wikipedia, what's not written on the website, who are you? And she's just like, it's a way of life. And it changed my life. And if you work hard, it can change yours too. So mind you, I'm like 4 weeks into this nonsense and I bought these products. And then when I sat in that hotel room with that woman, I was like, yeah, I made a mistake. And then and I couldn't send the stuff back because I think I had passed 30 days. And I was like, damn. So, and I ordered a male kit as well, male facial thing, right? So I was like, okay, this sucks. And then so Camilla like pulls up YouTube and shows me a video of like a frog. Like it was supposed to be motivational. Like, you should every day just start your day with like something motivational. And I was like, well, in my mind, I start my day with prayer or meditation. Okay. So I leave the hotel room. Like we're in there. I think I'm in there 20 minutes maybe. And I leave and I wind up calling Helen. And Helen's like, how was it? You manifested that stuff. You manifested that. And I was like, nah, I didn't manifest that. Nope, I didn't. She was like, don't you feel good? And I was like, nah, I mean, I feel the same. Like I didn't manifest anything. I just I met with Camilla, didn't really get that much information from her, and yeah, so then, you know, oh, yes, so then that happened, and then Meg and Helen would be like, okay, so we started a Facebook group for our team, and they had like a bunch of people in the team or whatever, and they'd be like, boss babes, sending motivational stuff out and be like, let's welcome blah 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 to the group. So when you get welcome in, it's a lot of love bombing. It's like, oh, this person is, I know her personally, she is energetic, which I am, and really smart, which I am, but clearly I wasn't smart about this. And she's gonna go far in this business, like the same script. So when someone else would come in, they'd be like, oh my gosh, I know her personally, and she's just a good person, and she's gonna work hard and all type of stuff. So and then they would post stuff like, well, the reason why I got an Arbonne is because I have a lot of credit card debt. And at the time, I didn't have any credit card debt because that's just how I roll. But clearly with this Arbonne, I got a new credit card, and I was like, I'll use this as my business credit card. Whew. Yeah, that was mistake number one. Oh no, that wasn't mistake number one. It was just many mistakes. So and I placed my monthly order, and I'm like, well, I'm on a website, and I'm like, well, the hair products are trash. You see my hair? No, I can't use their shampoo. Their vegan shampoo. Ain't nothing vegan about it. It's full of chemicals like a lot of these other companies that make shampoo. Now, if it was like, I don't know, say it didn't foam or make suds when water hit it, and it was and shea butter was used or something, then maybe I would have gotten with it. But that stuff dried. I used it, and I was like, this is trash. So I would wash my sweaters with the shampoo. Cashmere sweaters, love that shampoo. The conditioner, but the conditioner is for like hair, like for white women. Like let's not get it twisted. It's for white people. It ain't for this type of hair. Now, no, if it, yeah, it's for white people. So I was like, this is trash. Then I started giving out products like, can you try this? And I remember I gave the men's facial kit to somebody, and like the dude didn't really try it, and I was like, I kind of need my products back because you've had them for like 2 weeks, and he was like, yeah, no problem. And oh, after that, okay, so mind you, in the Facebook group, Helen and Meg are sending motivational stuff, but then like Camilla has another Facebook group that everybody had to be in. So in that Facebook group, I was rolling. I would be chuckling because people would pop up in there and be like, I have someone that's interested in the business, but they want to do beach body as well. So the response would be, well, from the direct line, or like upper management or whatever, they have to choose one or the other. They can't do both. So I'm reading this comment like, you're gonna dictate if this person wants to do two MLMs. Well, I didn't call it MLM at the time, but if these people want to do two things, then why can't they do both? Like, you gonna try to control that too? So I thought that was funny. So I didn't really stay in that. I didn't really stay in that group too much because I was like, y'all, this positivity, it seems really fake, and the camaraderie seems really really fake, and y'all are just doing lip service so that if the moderator's reading your comments, you won't get thrown out. Come on. And I'm sure there was like some racial undertones in there too, but I'm not gonna talk about that because I don't care anymore because I'm out. All right, so Helen has a conference call with me, or a Skype call with me, and a new person that she got in, and she's like, oh my gosh, I know her, she's so blah 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 blah. So this woman is like, yeah, so she's like listing all the stuff that she's doing, and they're like, well, Mary, what are you doing? And I'm like, actually having a really tough time selling this stuff, or like even getting people to go and do have a spa night or whatever, and And they're like, well, you're just not trying hard enough. And the new chick was like, I mean, you're just not trying hard enough. You need to change your attitude. Bitch, I looked at her and I was like, you don't know me. I said, you don't know me. And you don't know what I've been doing or what's been happening, but you don't know me. And then she just looked at me and I was like, I said, you don't know me. And Helen's like, oh, well, guys, just, just focus on your business and watch videos and read these books. Now, granted, a book list that she sent me, it was like a lot of self-help books. Granted, I had read those books years ago, so I was like, I'm not about to reread these books. And then there was a book called The Artist Way, which our theater school had recommended. I had that too, and I had done it years ago. So I'm like looking at her like, why would you be trying to tell me to read some books? Are you reading books? Huh? So, this video is long. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep it under 30 minutes. All right. So, okay, the climax. So, finally, I find a person, a friend of mine, and I talked to her about the business, and I'm like, look, you just had a baby. This would probably work out for you, blah, 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 blah. So Helen's like, okay, when are you going to talk to her? And I went to my friend's job. I was going to talk to her early in the morning. I did. And she was like, well, I'm not available, but Meg can be on the call to coach you if you need some help. So I go talk to my friend and I lay it out to her. I'm like, I say, listen, this is what it's going to cost to start. I said, they're going to want you to order all this stuff. I was like, but don't order all this stuff. This is what you order, what you need, because then you'll have like a surplus of stuff that you don't want, like sitting around in your house. And and then my friend eventually was like, well, it's right around Christmas time, why don't I wait and I'll order stuff and start in January. So I was like, bet. I was like, that's cool. I come back home. I send like Helen a text. I'm like, oh, my friend is gonna do it in December. And I sent Meg a text too, and I'm like, my friend's gonna do it in January. Meg is like, what do you mean in January? And I'm like, she's not comfortable starting now, so we're just gonna have to wait. So then Meg starts to bombard my Skype with all these articles on upselling and how you need to close out strong in the fourth quarter, and the fourth quarter is the best time to make all your sales and Christmas gifts and all this type of stuff. And I responded to Meg. I said, listen, if my friend doesn't want to buy anything in December, that is her decision, and I have to be okay with that. I said, I am not going to have my friend go into debt because you're trying to meet your fourth quarter numbers. I'm not doing that. I said, in my heart of hearts, I can't do that to somebody. I said, while I'm disappointed that she didn't buy anything, it's okay. I'm gonna live, and you will too. And then I had to block Meg because she kept sending stuff, and I was like, bitch, stop sending me things. So I did that. So then Helen calls and she's like, well, how do you feel? Do you feel powerful that, you talk to your friend? And I was like, nah, I don't feel powerful. I just talked to my friend and laid it out how I think you probably should have laid it out to me, but I just laid it out and told her. And she was like, well, we require that you do X, Y, and Z. And I was like, again, you're trying to tell people how to spend their money. And no, I don't work it like that. I don't do that. And I was like, and since we are friends, so I thought I keep it honest with people. I tell them exactly what it is. So then finally January rolls around and I just tell Helen, I was like, so Christmas time, everybody got Arbonne stuff. So that $150 I had to spend to keep my account active, I bought Christmas gifts. Everybody got that hand cream because that was the only thing that was good. And I still had shake powder, the powdered shakes sitting in my room because I hadn't sold them. So everybody got some shakes. And I think people got lip gloss. Everybody got Arbonne stuff that year. I was like, Merry Christmas, hoes. Merry Christmas. So, and my mom was like, this cream is great. I was like, well, you can buy it or you can make it. And I was like, you've made products before. I've made products before. And the products that we make are better than Arbonne's products. But what was I thinking? Uh, so finally, I tell Helen, I'm like, listen, I'm not spending $150 a month. I said, because I'm not even using everything that I purchased last month. I said, so it doesn't make any sense for me to continue to spend money. And she was like, well, what do you mean $150 a month? And I said, what do you, I said, that's what you said. Oh, no. Well, I mean, you don't have to spend $150 a month to remain active. That's what you and Meg said. And like I have it in text. Like that's what you said. Oh, well, we didn't mean that. So then I was like, bitch, y'all lied. So there was that. Then finally a few weeks into January, Helen's like, I'm taking a step away from the business. I have to do some things, and I'm focusing more on my acting and all this type of stuff. And don't get me wrong, she's booked a lot of things, but then I was thinking, I was like, oh, okay, so you just gonna get me in and then just bounce? And she was like, and then they were like, we have to close down our Facebook group because Camilla just wants one Facebook chat area. And I was like, here we go. So I think it was in February or March of 2017. I went on Arbonne's site, and mind you, to get out of it, they have it's so convoluted on the website to like leave, but you have to basically fax a letter. Not many people have a fax machine or access to one, but you have to fax a letter with your ID number and put it in there that you no longer want to be independent consultant, you no longer want to work with the company, and all this type of stuff. I faxed it, and within 36 hours, it was like I never existed. My account was gone, everything was deleted, and then I still had all this product. So what did I do? I gave the man's skincare. I gave that to somebody that I knew. I was like, you want this skincare? I think you'll probably like it. He was like, bet. Gave him that. And I sold everything else on eBay. And somebody bought one of the full skincare kits that they, make you buy. And then I put in all these free samples. And I was like, thank you so much for purchasing this product. I said, and just for you, you have a ton of samples. And then I was giving out samples to people that I knew. I was like, you want some skincare samples? People like, well, yeah. I was like, here, Arbonne. I said, but do not get involved with the company because it's not good. And I say all that to say that, yeah, I lost basically like, I made some of the money back because I sold it on eBay, but, I lost time, I lost money, and I basically figured out that Helen really wasn't my friend. And I still stuck to my guns when I was telling people, listen, this is how it is. This is how much it's going to cost. If you don't want to do it, it's okay. I'm still going to be your friend. I'm not going to I'm not going to stop talking to you because you said no. It's totally fine. So I hope this helps people. And do not get involved with MLMs. Oh, here's another thing. So I know that God was testing me because a few weeks after that, after like closing my account and stuff, I go to choir rehearsal, and the choir director is like, oh, where do you get your clothes detergent from? And I was like, wherever. So he pulls out a catalog, and he's like, well, you could buy direct. And I was like, okay, I could buy direct from anywhere, but okay. He's like, no. And then essentially we get in this conversation, and I'm already like, MLM. God's like, MLM girl, MLM. And I was like, this is an MLM thing, right? He was like, no, it's not. I was like, yes, it is. I was like, I just got out of one. I just lost a lot of money. I'm not interested in doing another one. I was like, if you need somebody to buy some clothes detergent from you, I'll be happy to buy, a gallon or whatever from you so you can, do what I said. But I'm really not interested in selling none of this stuff. And then after that, I never went to choir rehearsal again because I did. I went back the following week, and he was like, so what's up? And I was like, dude, I'm not interested. Like, stop. And then after that, I never really went back to choir rehearsal because I was just like, you ain't getting me. I'm not the one. So I hope this helps somebody. Yep, don't do it. It's not worth it. And if they stop talking to you or they make you feel bad, they didn't care about you in the first place. Okay, bye.